through the valley of the shadow of hell, you will realize that there is something ahead. Something that lurks behind the dark veil. A veil that is beyond our own comprehension. Beyond the void.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to
Beyond the Void
Horror Podcast.
That's right, we are back.
I feel like I sound like I say horror every time.
Horror Podcast.
Horror Podcast.
Yeah, we're taking off our clothes, so get ready and get dirty and break out those dollar bills, because
so naked.
Here comes Alex coming down the walk. Give it up for Sunshine.
Who's Sunshine? Is that you?
I guess. We've got like the giggle farts or some shit. I don't even know.
What was in that vodka?
I don't know. Oh, we got to do fucking Sambuca. So Brittany and I forgot to take our traditional
Brittany air quotes
to a great podcast. Oh,
it's nice and Italian.
Oh God. But yeah, guys, we're back for a brand new week. We got some things planned for you. We actually are doing a new segment today. In preparation for the next 2-3 weeks, I guess, we're going to do this because I really feel like since we're doing 90s, it's 90s horror month for us this month for the next 2 or 3 weeks. And we decided that we were going to do full moon movies. And we feel like we're kind of like ignoring some of our children, all these horror movies. And since I feel like full moon is a huge part of the 90s for me.
Oh, absolutely.
We were like, how do we kind of fit in more movies each week? So we're doing a segment called Full Moon Roulette. And so we'll be telling you about that here in a little bit after we do the news and everything like that. That'll be our news segment. So we're going to be picking movies from the Full Moon Direct library and then using those to basically talk about another movie. So it'll be like a little mini Flesh and Potatoes,
Yay.
But full moon movies.
Right.
So, and the way we pick it, we'll explain that in a little bit. Also, we're going to be talking about movies on Thursday for our regular Flesh and Potatoes. We're going to be doing 2 Rutger Hauer movies, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and we're also going to be doing Split Second, both movies from the 90s.
90s.
But Rutger Hauer style. We don't know a name for that yet, but we kind of figured out a really
like
cool
Rutger
Hauer
style.
Rut. Ding, 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 Rutger Hauer.
Rutger Hauer style.
Jesus Christ, that's so 90s too.
It's so perfect.
It's like CNC Music
Well,
Factory
that
does
Gundam
Rutger
style
Hauer.
song was like 3 years ago, but
What was it?
that's like the Gundam style song.
What have you been up to?
Work. I've been working my fucking ass off all week this week, so.
Just burying your head in the work?
Yep. Pretty much. I mean,
Coming home, going to sleep, watching a movie, go to sleep.
I come home and I watch. My guilty pleasure is America's Got Talent, so I watch the fuck out of that.
Have you watched The Gong Show?
No.
It's actually kind of cool.
What the fuck is the Gong Show?
It's funny.
What is that?
The Gong Show was a show back in, I believe, the 80s. Don't quote me. Where they would have like a bunch of people come on and they would do acts very similar to the America's Got Talent.
Oh, okay.
But like where they make fun of them and stuff.
Oh, it's me.
And you know how they like throw in ringers? Like people that are just going to be throwaways just for entertainment value?
Right.
But they do
every
that.
reality type show like this does that.
When they have 3 comedians or 3 main big actors or something like that, and they...
You know what? That sounds... It's older, right? So would it be on like GSN?
They're redoing it.
Oh, fuck, really?
They redid it. Mike Myers is actually playing this British guy.
I love Mike
I think
Myers.
he's playing the original guy, but I didn't fact check any of that shit, so...
Well, yeah.
The first episode was really funny. It was Zach Galifianakis, the Dr. Chang or whatever from...
Oh, so it's like a bunch of dudes from The Hangover.
Yeah, and it also is the guy from Arrested Development, the magician guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
Zach Galifianakis.
No, the magician guy.
I'm talking about how I talk about Zach Galifianakis.
But the three of them were fucking hilarious.
They're funny.
And
They're
Mike Myers
funny
was
people.
really funny,
people
too.
People always fucking talk shit about Zach Galifianakis, and it pisses me off because he's fucking hilarious.
I like him. I don't have any problem with him.
And I feel like it's just people hating.
I think he gets typecast a lot.
I agree. He does, but a lot of comedians do, though. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. It's just people have their stupid opinions about other people.
Yeah, you stupid
they're
people.
Quote unquote mainstream, and so they're like, "Oh, it's mainstream. I don't like it." Get the fuck over it. He's funny. I don't know if you ever watched his show Baskets.
Yes, I love it.
Fantastic.
I've seen both seasons.
It's a dark ass comedy, and you know me and clowns,
dude.
So
It's really subtle, dark comedy.
it's great.
Well, let's get back on track.
Yeah, let's.
I do want to say that I've been doing a lot of work. We've been trying to do a lot of little things here for the show, guys. And if you have known or not known, Christina is helping push me to do this, but she said that we're going to be every Tuesday, pretty much, we're going to try to do a live stream on the Facebook page.
Also, something that we're going to start doing too is I'm a subscriber to the Horror Block.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to start doing unboxing videos.
Oh, yeah.
Myself opening up the Horror Block and showing you guys what's included and giving my, my opinions basically on the items that were in it. I was going to do it this month, but this box kind of disappointed me. So I decided to wait. So,
well, you shouldn't open it until you do the box.
No, I know, but I wanted to do it, but I was like, wait, I kind of want to see before I do the first one. I kind of wanted to see what was involved first, and I'm glad I waited because this box, the T-shirt was repeated from what I already have.
Really?
And I was very, very
That's
annoyed.
really disappointing.
I was very annoyed by it. However, I got 2 DVDs, so that was nice. There's 2 movies included this time, so that already right there supersedes the cost of what I have to pay for this box. But and my husband doesn't care. My husband gets my T-shirts anyways because I don't wear T-shirts, so he always gets my shirts, and it's a great shirt. The shirt's really fucking cool. It's just it's a Ouija board basically on it, and it's great. We already have it, and I was mad when I opened it, and Mouse is like, I don't care, I'll take another one. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing the unboxing, so I'll start that next month.
Cool. So that's another thing that we'll be doing. We'll do that on our YouTube channel. Probably put that up. We have to figure out how the logistics.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that shit live. I'm just gonna record it.
Sure.
I'll probably just do it here.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, whenever, just let me know. Also, guys, if you haven't already noticed and you haven't been following any of our social media, or maybe you're just new, we just got on iTunes, and this has been a long process for our podcast, and I have spent a lot of hours, more hours than I've ever spent on anything related to something like this. Some of it was like stupid human error, some of it was like other people's fault. Like we made errors in our podcast, but they would have never been found out about unless we got reported by this other radio station. I had to go through fixing all of that, but we're back up on iTunes now. So if you do follow us and maybe prefer to use iTunes, go and subscribe to that. And while you're there, give us a rating and a review if you like too, because it really helps bring us up in the bracket.
Yes.
And even if you don't and you just want to help us out and you really like the show, please give us a shout out. We want to try to reach as many people as we can because the more people we have listening, the bigger the show gets, the bigger we do more. Maybe we even get a sponsor at some point and we give away shit more. You know what I mean? Like, that would be awesome. So, yeah, I don't want to hound you guys about that shit, but I'm really you have no idea that happened, landed on the 8th day of the anniversary last week. So we had already recorded those episodes and I was like ecstatic. Like, I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe we're back on iTunes after 9 months of hell. So, but yeah, if you guys get a chance, please do that. We appreciate it. But I think it might be that time, Brittany.
You know what? I think it's that time too.
Oh, shit.
I'm feeling it.
Horse shots! All right, guys, we're back. We're going to do our horror shot for this week, and it's a pregame for the Flesh and Potatoes segment of this Thursday, which is going to be Rutger Hauer movies. So we figured, what better way to celebrate the pregame for the Thursday episode of Rutger Hauer than to take a Rutger Sour?
A Rutger Sour, because he's so fucking sour.
Yeah, he's a little sweet, and he's a little sour.
He's real fucking sour.
Yeah, but I don't know. We thought it was a clever name. We actually have, it's weird. We've never done this. Like, we planned out 2 shots before you got here for the next 2 weeks. Like, we're for today and for next week.
We did. It's one for the record books. For
right.
Us.
It's the first time on BTV.
I think that's more of a testament to how alcoholic we are. How much...
All right, guys, this is a very simple shot to do. It is literally 2 ingredients, okay?
Literally.
And we wanted to incorporate some sort of 90s again. I'm sorry we didn't get as clever as the first one. I don't know if that's clever or just stupid, but it worked out. Since Rutger Hauer is kind of a badass, and he's not like a, top shelf liquor, but he's a good liquor.
He's not a top shelf badass, but he's still
yeah, he's kind of like one of those dirty, get your hands dirty kind of guys that doesn't clean up his place kind of guys.
It's depending on what movie you're talking about.
Right.
It's his level of badassery.
Right. Exactly, but we're in this reference we're talking about Split Second. So
mid-level badassery.
We're pouring in a half a shot of Jack Daniels.
Alex tried to tell me that it was cheap whiskey, and I'm like, Jack Daniels is not cheap whiskey.
I think it's cheaper.
The cheaper of the good whiskeys, but it is not cheap.
It's mid-level whiskey. It's not
know.
cheap. So to add a little 90s flair, we're gonna pour in a little Smirnoff Ice.
Zima 2.0.
Yeah, 2.0, which is a little sour. Careful with that. It's probably going to spill over.
It's going to. It's going to go. I can already see it spilling in my cleavage.
My cleavage.
I'm going to get home. Mouse going to be like, ooh, you taste good. I'm like, fuck off.
You spilled that in your cleavage.
Cleavage.
Sorry. All right, guys. So, to Rutger Hauer and all his many splendid films and not so splendid films. Mm-hmm. To you, Rutger.
Thanks, Rutger. Cheers.
Thanks for the Rutger Sour. There's a lot of things happening in my mouth right now. Yeah, it tastes like a Rutger Sour, all right.
Yeah, it just tastes like Jack Daniels.
But if you guys want to know how to make a Rutger Sour, it's pretty simple. If you want to get clever with it and you want to school us and tell us how we could have made it better, tell me.
Tell me.
Yeah, go to our fucking...
Dare you.
Yeah, I dare you.
Just
dare you to go to
me.
longlivethevoid.com and check out our horror sex section and then write us.
Sex section.
Yeah, you piece of shits. Sex section? Is that what I said?
Section. I like how you fucking... I don't know.
It's the Sambuca that fucks up my language.
Sambuca fucks up everything, man. Totally does.
Well, that's it for horror shots. So, Brittany.
Yes?
Did you hear about the...
It's the fucking news! Here is the fucking news!
Scared the shit out of me. I didn't know you were gonna fucking do that.
Serious?
You fucking scared me.
All right, guys, we're back for the news, and we're going to be dropping some bombs on you. No, I don't know about
that. Shit.
It does sound like shit. So we got a few things that we're going to be talking about. So some of the first news, and we'll just get some of the sad stuff out of the way here a little bit. The unfortunate news of Haruo Nakajima, the man that was inside the Godzilla suit, died at the age of 88 years old. Quite a long life, but for fans of Godzilla out there, that's kind of a huge blow.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, man, I've been, everybody I think has gone through some sort of Godzilla phase a little bit. They've seen some of the movies. They know some of the magic. Whether you love it or not, it's like so different than anything out in cinema. Godzilla is so different. It's like its own genre, the kaiju thing.
It pretty much is.
So, cheers to him.
Cheers.
Also, a little bit outside of the horror news, but something I posted in Do You Love Horror? Josh Brolin has some new pictures out of him as Cable in Deadpool, and damn. Mm-hmm. Motherfucker looks like a badass.
Yeah, the initial thought process I had on that was, God damn!
Like,
he looks fine as hell.
I know that one of my buddies from the Buzzkill podcast, you pieces of shit. No, I'm kidding. No, I love those guys. I do.
We do.
They're one of my favorite podcasts.
Don't
but
take this is all in fun, guys.
Oh, they know. They were saying that they wanted somebody else to do it, and they showed me pictures of it, and I can't think of his name.
Did they say? Okay, I was gonna say, did they say who they suggested?
Yeah, but I have to look it up.
Let me know, because I'm actually curious.
Michael from Buzzkill podcast said that.
Hi, Michael.
He said that Stephen Lang would be a better choice. And I'll show you the picture
Stephen
right
Lang?
now, and I'll put this up on our shit here so that you guys can
I don't
see.
even know who the fuck that is.
I think he looks very close to Cable.
Yeah, he does, but it's fucking Josh Brolin.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was
please?
making fun of him. I was like, you take that back, mister. You take that back.
You take that back.
I was like,
I don't know.
You're breaking my hard ass wipe.
Breaking my hat. I appreciate everybody's viewpoints on who they
Sure.
feel should play.
I think he
certain
looks
characters.
aesthetically,
He does,
but-
aesthetically, I can see that.
And he is more deadpan than Josh Brolin. But
He
Josh
is.
Brolin is the better actor, in my opinion.
Sorry, I agree.
What do you
And
guys
those
think? Do you-
Pictures are fucking panty dropping worthy. So.
Yeah, a lot of girls are pretty hot and heavy over that. And I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind jerking off to it
And that's a
myself.
big part of it is you want to get girls interested and girls involved, and they're not just going to be involved for Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah,
You need them involved for a lot of other points.
two different guys, right? Mm-hmm. Got to see
We need two separate fucking lady buffet
dicks.
DJ diddling fucking shenaniganza going on here.
Shenanigans.
Ryan Reynolds is not enough.
You making shit up now?
I
Making
am
words?
not making shit up. Shenaniganza is the word. Look it up.
I've never heard that.
I say it all the time, so if it's not a word prior to now, it
I
is-
like the word.
it
I'm
is
just
now.
saying.
But I mean, Colossus isn't a hot character, but the guy who does his voice is hot as fuck. But anyway,
I'm excited for the movie. I really think it's going to be good. And I think that a lot of horror fans are probably big Deadpool fans too.
a lot of people talk shit about fucking Deadpool before it came out. Everybody has their fucking opinions on everything.
What? Really? I never heard anybody talk shit about it.
I did. They weren't necessarily that stoked about Ryan Reynolds being Deadpool.
Really?
and-
He's like the perfect
I
right.
completely agree. I feel like he's great. He is a great person to play it. But I remember before it was actually released and they first cast the fucking roles for the movie.
Oh, that's what you're hearing. You're talking about the Wolverine movie.
No,
That was just piss poor writing.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about Deadpool.
Yeah, but Deadpool was in the Wolverine movie.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about before Deadpool was released. Just Deadpool.
Yeah.
People weren't necessarily stoked about the fact of Ryan Reynolds portraying Deadpool. To me,
I've never
it's
heard
weird.
anybody say that.
But I don't know. I mean, it's weird because we do run in pretty similar social circles. But
Well, those people should be shot and fucking drugged
I could,
by a
yeah,
horse.
draw and quarter them. Like, I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. Like, you're a fucking idiot because Deadpool's fantastic and Ryan Reynolds is the perfect person.
And
to
not
play
only
him.
is the movie fantastic, but what that movie did for American or just cinema in general has opened so many fucking doors to so many movies because it's the first rated R movie that is blown up like that.
in a long time.
Especially for superheroes, like it made Wolverine made the Logan movie, which was really good too. But yeah, I think it opened a lot of doors for a lot of things. I think it opened minds of producers to go, oh shit, we didn't have to spend that much money and we were able to do an R rating. That's weird. So, but anyway,
It's real weird.
on another news, I saw an article that we posted actually. We just started posting news articles. I did one. I spent some time doing a little research and stuff I already knew about the anniversary of the Tate murders between August 8th and 9th, which Charles Manson sent out his followers from Spawn Ranch to go to a house where a producer that he got turned down from, he asked his followers to go and brutally kill everybody. Well, that person no longer lived there, and they rented it out to Sharon Tate and Roman Polanski. And they ended up killing a bunch of people in that house, including Sharon Tate, who was a starlet at the time. And August 8th and 9th marks the date. Reason being is because when Charles Manson actually sent the followers out, he sent them out on the 8th, but the murders occurred after midnight, just shortly after. So it's a really brutal, probably one of the more famous murder crimes that you can find.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really interesting why it started and everything like that. And just so happens last week we were talking about how fucking Charles Manson was, there's a human rights petition because they're mistreating him in prison.
Wasn't he released?
No. I don't think I think he's going to die in there.
I thought he was released because he's
No, he's got some health problems and they're doing like an 8-point restraint and like mistreating him or something like that in the petition. That's what they were talking about. So
Which is interesting because they're treating him like he's a fucking psycho murderer, yet he never actually killed anybody.
right. And like that's so weird. Not like somebody I want out in the streets anyway to like manipulate other people.
No, because he's gonna do exactly what he did. He's gonna orchestrate a fucking band of crazy fast people to do what he wants them to do. It's just a band of puppets.
Well, could he do that now? We don't even know.
I feel like you could. I guarantee it, dude. Like,
he just knows how humans work.
He absolutely does. He understands the humans. He understands their mentality. He understands the human condition, everything about it. And I feel like absolutely now he could have way more power than he did then.
Right.
Thanks to social media. And thanks to the fact that there's a lot of people that idolize and absolutely worship him.
Oh, yeah. It's inspired. That murder case inspired everyone.
One of the biggest reasons why people commit the crimes that they do or kill the people that they do or go out and... Exactly. Yeah. It's the fame. They don't give a fuck if they were killed in the process of obtaining it.
Same thing with terrorists and everything else.
That's why they fucking do it, is because they want their 15 minutes in the fucking media.
Right.
And I feel like if we didn't focus on that... then there wouldn't be these big crime sprees. But
that's a tidal wave of social politics that's just never going to change now.
Fucking subject that we're not going to get into right now because it's probably going to piss some people off and there's going to be whatever. I don't care. But still, I feel like if they were to let him out, it's probably a great idea. They do not. But if they were to let him go and do his fucking thing on the streets, he would probably gather another gang of crazy fucking people that were adorable, just like fucking Tex and everybody else that was involved. And it would be a whole other situation that we'd be living through. And you know what? He's one of those people that was so incredibly intelligent that they were just fucking weird.
Yeah.
And
no, I
exactly
agree.
What happened? That's what he's so smart.
He was probably genuine about everything he said.
Absolutely, everything he said, he believed. He truly believed deep down to his very core. He believed it, and he got these people to follow him. And that takes a pretty magnificent being to follow what they're saying.
Right. Well,
and cult leaders don't just fucking sprout overnight, Alex. It takes a lot.
No. I know. I'm not arguing with you.
Absolutely.
But guys, if we are trying to like spice up our news section of our website, and if you're an aspiring writer and you're possibly looking to try to like post some of your stories, reviews, or anything like that, we're thinking about doing that. We had a couple people contact us, and I thought, well, why not? Like, as long as it's not some racist shit. Like,
no, if you're a racist, I'm going to punch you in the fucking dick.
Obviously,
virtually or physically.
Obviously, we'll look at it to make sure it's not, we're not just going to post it up. But, but yeah, if you're interested and you want to write and have an avenue to be able to talk to people, we'll share it everywhere, Yeah. So... let us know. Also, there's also in the news, there's October 3rd, you can own George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead on Blu-ray. I actually don't own it on Blu-ray. I just have it on the DVD. So I actually might get that. Also, another really cool, interesting little tidbit here. NBC is bringing the Munsters to Brooklyn for a sitcom reboot. I can understand that a lot of people are probably going to be on the fence about this move. That's a huge TV show. A lot of fans for that, new and old. Apparently, this is what NBC says. Apparently, Brian Fuller attempted to reanimate popular sitcom The Munsters in 2012 with Mockingbird Lane, a planned TV series that amounted to nothing.
Zero. Absolutely fucking nothing. Sorry.
But they did try again, and the network is rebooting The Munsters once more as a half-hour single-camera sitcom that follows members of the offbeat family who are determined to stay true to themselves but struggle to fit in the hipster Brooklyn.
No.
So it says, yes, Herman and the gang will deal with hipsters in Brooklyn.
No.
Odd Mom Out creator Jill Kargman will write the script. He's going to write the script and executive produce with Schumeyer's Productions, excuse me.
Okay, Odd Mom Out, I do really like. That's actually something that Mouse and I actually really enjoy watching.
Well, there you go. He's in the writer.
It's a pretty funny, like, little sitcom show or whatever. So, I don't know. I'll give it a chance.
It could go either way for me. I'm on the fence. I'm like, I'll see it to believe it.
I have my own reservations about it.
Yeah, I'll wait and see what it does.
Once they get involved and say it's like, they're going to be with hipsters.
It's not something I'm super excited about, but I kind of like the new twist on it, so we'll see. Maybe it's good.
They're trying to make it relevant.
Right.
So I understand that. I understand where they're coming from as far as trying to do it. And
it's never going to replace the original. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely not. Nothing ever will.
But it's still kind of fun that they're actually tossing around the idea network is TV. Right. And this just goes to show you guys just how big horror is right now.
Well, you have to look at the successes of the series like American Horror Story, Penny Dreadful,
any of those,
Salem.
Yeah.
Like anything along those lines. Stranger Things.
Sure.
The OA, like anything along those lines that's supernatural horror related, and you have to look at that, and that's where they're going, oh, okay, so where are all these old series or these old TV shows, these old movies or whatever,
homage,
and we can do it homage to these films or shows or whatever the fuck we're going to do.
Right.
We're going to take it and put a 2017, 2018, 2019, whatever spin on it.
Right.
And try and make it relevant by including relevant factors such as hipsters or whatever the fuck they're going to do with it. So I absolutely understand where they're coming from, because these were things that were very big, you know, when we were younger and...
Well, younger than us.
Right. And
that was black and white.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
The actual original show started in 1964 through 1966. I mean, this is pretty old.
I kind of wish they left it alone.
I actually, what was I going to say? I was actually having a conversation about the mainstream versus, independent films and stuff like that. And I was saying, I don't really mind that the mainstream is adapting into horror, because if there's a healthy mainstream of horror, that means that there's also a healthy independent scene that is trying to push to make other movies. And it just means a well-oiled horror machine, in my opinion.
Right.
So that there's just a lot of horror. And guys, you should be very grateful right now that we're living in the era that we are, because it doesn't get any better than this, guys. Like, this is like a horror era. There is probably more TV shows online right now than there was in the 80s and 90s to be able to grab onto and have a choice of. We have so many TV shows, so many different mainstream movies that are grabbing onto horror, whether it be socio-political or whatever it is. It's huge. It's a big thing. And I feel very fortunate to be a part of it. Like, I'm really glad.
I feel kind of like in the middle about it. Like, I kind of wish they'd leave older shit alone.
Sure.
Because 9 times out of 10, they just fuck up remakes and...
Well, remakes...
They have nothing original to fucking give to anything.
Sure, but remakes are always going to happen. Nothing you can do about it. If you're a fan of something that's an original source material, it's never going to go away, guys. You're always going to have it.
It's not.
But and you're never going to force some new kid to like some old shit.
No,
it's just the way it is.
Absolutely.
Some things will never change.
Never change.
Also, in the news, speaking of Brian Fuller, he's also been talking and having revival conversations about Hannibal. So there may be a third season, guys.
Fuck off right now. Don't even tease me.
And I'm not trying to ruin it for you guys out there, but just give me 10 seconds of earmuffs and turn your ears off right now.
Earmuffs, kids.
If you guys know, he jumped off the cliff at the end, and how the fuck is he going to survive? So, obviously, he survived if they're doing another one.
If they're going to do another one.
Spoilers off.
I loved Hannibal.
Well,
I was so fucking pissed when I saw that it was canceled.
Well, it wasn't canceled necessarily. They just ended it.
It was canceled, Alex. Like, it was canceled. No other network had picked it up. It was straight up canceled from the network that it was on. And it was completely devastating.
How many seasons were there? Was there 2 or 3?
I feel like 3.
Well, the last season. Yeah, 1 and 2 was good, and then maybe it was the third season. I can't remember. I think it might be in the third season. It's just been a while since I watched it. But it says here, conversations couldn't start until 2 years after the final airing of season 3. Fuller wrote on Twitter earlier this week in response to a request for news about Hannibal. Has started those conversations to take this time. Someone said, so it's August. Where's our Hannibal news? So it's possible that we got another new season. So for all you fanables out there, I'm one of them. I don't mind. I'm not like crazy about it, but
it's so well done. It's just visually fucking stunning. The acting is incredible.
The psychology behind it
is incredible. The psychology behind it is incredible. Everything about that series is so fucking good and spot on.
Well, the last season, though,
smartest TV shows that has ever been produced in the last 15 fucking years.
Right.
So good.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very poetic how they ended the whole thing. The very beginning of the last season, I was really struggling to get into it. It was getting really weird.
Yeah, but that's...
I'm not picking on it. I'm not trying to pick on it.
I know.
I'm just saying that it just was weird to me. It didn't feel like the rest of the material before it. I think there was like some weird strike going on at that time.
I get that, but it's not.
It was it didn't feel very Hannibal. And then halfway through that season, it got better, and then I was just like all on board again. And then it ended so poetically. I was like, this is beautiful.
It's a beautiful fucking show.
Yeah, it really was.
If you haven't watched it, get fucking into it, especially if they're going to continue doing it, which I hope they do.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I liked it. Yeah, I agree. I think that's it for the news. All right, guys, so we're going to be doing a new segment. That's right, for our Rotating Mondays. We're going to be doing our Full Moon Roulette.
Full Moon Roulette.
Now, if you guys already missed this, we'll explain what it is after this new little jingle that we came up for the Full Moon Direct, and we'll see you in just a second. All right, guys, we're back, and that was our new jingle for our Full Moon Roulette. And now, if you're curious about what Full Moon Roulette is, it's very simple. We basically have a speak and spell on with a bunch of numbers on it, and on a list that we keep separately, we put a bunch of full moon feature movies. Now, if you've never heard of Full Moon, you've missed out on a lot of fucking movies in the 90s and early and late 80s even.
Yep.
Charles Band was a producer and writer, and he even did music. Actually, his brother did music, but he used to put a lot of movies together during the straight-to-video era, and he was a big kind of underground, kind of Roger Corman style of the 90s. Like, he's a very big thing. In fact, they actually did an interview together. It was Roger Corman and Charles Band. If you haven't heard of Full Moon Features, they have a new service on Amazon and through their website called Full Moon Direct. These are movies like Puppet Master, Subspecies, Bad Channels, Evil Bong is one of their new franchises. They've done Ooga Booga. They've done just oodles and oodles of fucking movies that you may not even know about. So what we did is we basically took a See and Say. We taped about 10 numbers to the thing, and we wrote all the movies down, and we did this on our live stream on Tuesday of this past week. We did this See and Say, and we spun it, and we got to pick Seedpeople. So Seedpeople from Full Moon is what we're going to be talking about today, and at the end of this, we're going to do the See and Say, where it spins a little arrow around and tells you what the animal is,
Yeah, that's
okay?
straight up See and Say.
But we'll do that at the end of this one. But right now, we're going to delve into
Seedpeople.
Well, to kick it off, this movie started in 1992. The story. The sleepy little town of Comet Valley has been invaded by plants from outer space. Intent on taking over the Earth, the space plants have found a way to pollinate humans, thus turning them into walking seed carriers. Can the respectful residents fight off the alien invaders, or is the planet doomed to become an alien garden? Also known as not body snatchers.
Yeah.
Invasion of the body snatchers.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
They totally ripped off of that.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
But to give you guys kind of an idea who put this movie together, it was directed by Peter Manoogian, who did the movie The Dungeon Master, Arena, and he did Demonic Toys. Part of Charles Band's, directors. He also, it was written by Charles Band, who had the original concept, and then Jackson Barr stepped in and fleshed out the screenplay for it. It was also produced by Charles Band and Ann Kelly, and it was starring Sam Hennings, who plays Tom Baines. He's like the main character. And he was mostly kind of a bit actor. Like, nothing he did was really big after this. I think this was his first leading role.
I feel like it probably was.
Maybe it's not his first, but it was his biggest.
Absolutely his biggest, which is a little sad.
He did do a lot of TV shows throughout the years, though, and although he did have a role in the movie Night Angel, that's kind of like an older film, but also it starred Andrea Roth, who plays Heidi Tucker. She was in the movie The Collector, the TV show Rescue Me,
I loved Rescue Me.
She was also in Rutger Hauer movie called Crossworlds. Also, RoboCop, the TV series, which I had completely forgotten about and want to go back and watch now. I
forgot that was a TV series.
Right? I was like, what the fuck? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
She was also in another movie called The Psychic in 1991. Mm-hmm. Also, this movie starred Sonny Carl Davis, who plays Bert. And the funny thing about this guy is that I actually really love him in this movie called TerraVision. It's my favorite role of his. He was also Bad Channel in the movie Bad Channels, which is another full moon movie. Trancers, as well as another full moon movie. And here's the interesting thing. He was in the movie called Trancers as Rabbit. And get this, he appears as Rabbit in the Evil Bong series at part 3 all the way on to 6. The first Evil Bong movies, the first 2, he plays a delivery guy. Then he ends up in the Killjoy Psycho Circus as Rabbit again, which is another sequel of the Killjoy movies.
Yes.
And so he's fully entrenched in the Full Moon movies with Charles Band. So let's just put it that way. But best acting role he did, in my opinion, is Terror Vision. And if you haven't seen that fucking gem, you need to go watch it after this
Basically,
podcast.
go look it up right fucking now.
It's great.
Pretty much.
So what do you think about this movie? Be honest. I don't care. Let it out. Let the anger out.
This is my least favorite of the films that we watched for this week.
Yeah.
I didn't take anything positive.
This is the worst, you think?
Yeah, to me, it was.
Okay.
I didn't necessarily take anything positive away from this movie. I feel like it was campy and silly, and obviously it's not necessarily meant to be taken seriously.
No, clearly.
As most full moon movies.
Well, they made it a serious movie, but yeah.
They did. I wasn't, I don't know. I felt like they could have spent a little bit more time focusing on the monsters, quote unquote monsters, aliens or whatever they're supposed to be portraying, on them and their story instead of the main character and his ex-girlfriend and their whatever, the kid.
Well, I just think he wasn't a very strong actor.
I don't know.
That's the problem.
He wasn't. I mean, he wasn't terrible. Like, I've seen worse.
Right. It felt like a TV movie.
Acting. It absolutely did. It definitely felt like a Lifetime TV movie.
From the
like
90s.
A horror Lifetime TV movie in the 90s. And it just, I don't know. It was a complete miss for me. I was actually really excited because this is one of the full moon movies that I hadn't seen yet.
Okay.
And this was one that I was actually really excited. So when I tuned in and watched, and you did, the full moon roulette.
Yeah, when you were doing it live.
It came on this, and I was so excited because I was really like, fuck yeah, I was super gung-ho about watching this film, right? And I was struggling to stay awake the entire time because it was so fucking slow.
It ramps up.
It ramps up
for the first 30 minutes and
real fucking down.
Dips for a while, and then it kind of comes back.
No, that's exactly what it goes. Way up here, and then it comes way down here. And then it's like a fucking Eeyore of a film for about 40 goddamn minutes, and then all of a sudden it's like, woo! Like way back to the top. And then it, towards the end, kind of like middle grounds out. I don't know. It definitely isn't my favorite.
Okay, well, I felt like it was your typical aliens landed on a planet hundreds of years ago, squirt milk or lotion on people's faces and backs.
Oh, no.
A kid finds out about the weird alien creatures, but of course, nobody believes her till everyone turns into fucking creatures, and it suddenly turns into Invasion of the Body Snatchers story. Pretty much.
Right. It's exactly Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which again is where I had an issue
like a
with
cheesy one.
Because it is a very cheesy version of that film, and it was, I don't know, to me it was a blatant ripoff, and it didn't do very well of being a blatant ripoff of it.
Okay.
So it wasn't my favorite by any means. I've already stated this. However, I don't know. It was still kind of a fun ride in certain parts, but that was a straight up bukkake tree.
Yeah, it squirted on their face.
I have never seen a bukkake tree. That is a bukkake tree.
It was kind of cool what they did, but I was like, man, I wonder how much they spent on lotion.
No, it was kind of porn. That's exactly what it was. It was kind of porn. It wasn't kind of cool. It was kind of porn.
Well, I thought it was pretty fun for a bad...
No, it was fun. Like, don't get me wrong here. Like, as much as I did not enjoy the movie, like, it wasn't my speed. It wasn't my thing. But I mean, I'm not going to like everything that we do. And this week in particular, I wasn't a big fan of any of the movies that we did, but this one was my least favorite.
Well, what I felt like, in my opinion on this, is that it's pretty fun for a bad 90s sci-fi alien creatures go, fuck yourselves film. Mm-hmm. I kind of wish that they would have had more practical gore. But,
oh, no, I agree.
But the creatures looked pretty awesome, in my opinion.
In full creature form were interesting.
Right.
Like, it wasn't terrible, but as Elvira stated, if you now try and find a version of the film, mm-hmm. you'll be able to find, like, the Elvira, like, a redone, commentary version of it. But as she stated, it looks like turds rolling down a hill.
I mean, it's
exactly what it feels like.
Well, let me finish what I was going to say here.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I mean, I think that the third act picked up, but there were some issues, quite a few. And when you face this up against many other 90s horror films, though, I mean, personally, I've seen a lot of bad ones here recently because I've been on this, oh man, I missed out so much, and I've been a little disappointed on my journey there. But I feel like if you compare it to other films, other 90s films, you realize that this isn't as bad. Something I'm probably going to own just because of its sheer cheese factor. And it's literally $5.50 on Amazon right now.
Well, I feel like it's one of Full Moon's most popular films.
You think?
I feel like it probably is. Because if you go and take a general consensus of people mm-hmm. who watch Full Moon films, it's going to be in the top 5.
You think? I don't know about top 5.
I mean, for me,
there are so many films that they have.
There are. I mean, but
probably
for me,
ones you don't even know about.
No, absolutely, and you're right. But for me personally, it was one I hadn't seen, but I wanted to see.
Okay.
And that was in my top 5 of Full Moon films that I wanted to watch, just basically because of the cult following that's behind it and the people that I know who have seen it and what they've said about it. So maybe my standards were set a little bit too high, but it wasn't. It didn't hit where I wanted it to hit.
Sure.
But I feel like if you're looking for a really good date night movie, yeah,
where you're not paying attention
with your significant other that you want to lead to a fuck fest. This is a great movie.
This is the movie you fuck to, guys.
Turn this fucking movie on. You're going to get bored about 30 minutes in, and you're going to look at each other and go, what can we do to spice this up? And you're going to fuck, and it's going to be great. And then when you're done fucking, you're going to come back, and it's going to be about 15 to 20 minutes left of the film, and then you're going to finish it out, and that's all you need to know.
One of the things I really do like about this movie, though, I actually really like the creatures in this. I thought that they were really different and unique. I mean, some of them were kind of silly. There was like one that walked on its hands. There was one that rolled around. And then there was one that flew around, actually. It was kind of like an insect or something like that. Now, this is the reason I'm bringing this up is the flying one looked like the hand puppet from these toys called the Sectors. Can't remember the full name, but it used to be a cartoon. Because back in the day, in like the 80s and probably the 80s, they used to make toys based on the cartoons. Mm-hmm. So they would make these cartoons to sell more toys because Absolutely. They had no TV shows on. So they would pay out the ass to get these shows on, and this like ran for like a little bit of time. And I think there's literally only 5 or 6 episodes. But there was this hand, you could stick your hand in this insect puppet, and these little these like little alien sort of insect people would ride on top, but your fingers would all be like the fingers or the legs of the creature it flew on or crawled on. So I thought it was really cool, and when I showed you the picture, didn't it look like a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. And this is a very common technique for any like popular storytelling books.
Oh, you mean selling the toys
that were involved in the late 80s, early 90s? They made these little puppets that would go along with the books. Mm-hmm. And because I remember this when I was a kid, in preschool.
Okay.
And even in first kindergarten.
Okay.
I remember my teachers having these little puppets that went along with the books, and they would tell these stories, and they would have the little puppets that go along with the books that they're telling. And this was something that was very common then. Mm-hmm. And I loved it, and I felt like it was something that was very cool to get kids more involved in the story process telling.
Okay.
But the pictures that you sent me from what
they
you
look
remember
like the
when
Sectors.
You were a kid, they absolutely do, and it's crazy.
And I'll include that in our episode breakdown for the episode on our webpage, so on longlivethevoid.com, because you got to check this out, guys. Like seriously, it's pretty interesting to look at it. If you've ever seen Seedpeople, you'll be like, oh shit. And I'll try to crop it so, because there's two in this picture, but this one is the one I had. Mm-hmm. And when I went back to visit my family, I had to clean out my attic because they're moving, and I found it, and I threw it away.
What?
I know.
The fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know, and now I feel like and I never wanted to throw anything away, but they were like urging me to throw away stuff that I didn't want to throw away.
Oh, if I was your girlfriend, I'd bend you over my knee and spank the
No, she was the one encouraging me to throw shit out.
What?
No.
Christina.
But,
girl.
But yeah, there was some pretty interesting, not a lot of trivia on this, guys. Like, I did try to look around for it. I looked for some interviews that Charles Band maybe had talked about Seedpeople, and, I watched a couple of reviews of stuff, and there was some interesting tidbits, but the main things that there was supposedly an unrelated sequel was planned, and it was written, but it never got past the writing stages, so it never came about.
I can see that.
I think it could have been a franchise, and I'm surprised that they didn't do it, but I guess it didn't take off.
I am a little surprised that it didn't happen because there's been worse things that have been done.
Dude, have you seen the cover? The cover is fucking phenomenal.
For the second?
For this one.
The cover for this is fantastic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I agree. I don't know. I feel like that if they were going to do a quote-unquote sequel for this film, I'm still surprised that it wasn't done.
Right. Well, they also had, like, when they did the trailer, if you guys get the trailer, I'll put the trailer down below or whatever, but they reused some of the music from Subspecies, which is also another really good Full Moon franchise movie. But to get kind of some of the effect of the creatures kind of tumbling around across the forest, they said that they used fiberglass, and it was wrapped in a netting, and then they pulled behind like a remote control car on string. So that's how they got it to roll. Isn't that crazy?
I can fucking see exactly that.
Isn't that weird?
No, it's a lot of steps that go into that I didn't anticipate being part of it.
Yeah, it's ingenious, though.
When you explain it, I can see that visually.
I kept seeing little, like, wires to the right and left of the creature.
Balls of shit rolling down a hill, and it makes sense.
It made me think of the Critters movie when they do the big ball and they start rolling over people, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was in like the second or third one. Mm-hmm. I can't remember. Was it the second one?
I believe so.
Yeah, because I think the third one is the one with
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, well, he was in either 3 or 4. I just can't remember. Because it was like a new, like they rebooted it.
Someone will fact check us later. It's fine.
Probably.
I'm looking forward to it.
Hey guys, by the way.
Please do. Just don't be a fucking asshole about it.
Yeah, if we don't know something, just remember there's a lot of information swirling around when we talk about this. We want to try to give you some of our favorite tidbits and throw it out at you. But, do you have any favorite scenes, Brittany? You gotta have something. I know you didn't like this movie, but something.
Wasn't my favorite. I didn't necessarily not like it. I've seen worse movies.
Okay.
However, all the bukkake tree
that was one of your favorites.
Were the best to me. I don't know. Like, my fucking brain went, this is sexual innuendo city. Like, between the first one and the second one, because there's really only 2.
Yeah.
Really solid scenes about that. But the whole time, I mean, I was texting you as we were watching it, and I'm just like, this is a straight up bukkake tree. Like, holy fuck. Like, and that's exactly how I feel about it. But those to me, and I just fucking love that son of a bitch farmer.
Oh, the guy with the plants?
And the guy that just came, oh my God, what did he even say? And I texted you afterwards too.
Well, the funny thing is, the guy that I was talking about that's in TerraVision, he's the one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
His name is Sonny Carl Davis. He plays Bert.
Okay.
Hey, Bert. Yeah, I got the lights up here trying to do some things. What are you talking about? He's like so clueless.
Absolutely.
And the only reason he survives, by the way, guys, is because he uses halogen lights, like, to help make the plants grow. No, he's not a doctor.
Well, Doc.
The crazy guy? The guy that wears the fucking... No. I'm talking about the guy... The farmer he has the lights that he's trying to grow plants on, and he sprays all the herbicide on. But the crazy guy is the one that knows about these creatures, and he wears some of the same lights, and that's why he doesn't get attacked. The funny thing about this story, guys, and to give you kind of a better understanding of what this movie is about, essentially this pod crashes to Earth many hundreds of years ago, they excavate, they are doing some sort of groundwork or something like that, and they come across pods. These pods germinate into the ground, into the trees, and then infect them, and then they squirt onto people, turning them into these pod creatures, these seed people as they call them. And then those people can infect other people to turn them into seed people, or at least drones, where they just, their bodies are normal, but they don't change into creatures. Because from what I remember, there's only 3 seed people, and the rest are just droney fucking body snatcher type people.
Right.
Then, after that happens, there's a guy that gets stuck into town. He used to live in this town. He's the main guy that Sam Hennings plays, Tom Baines. He gets stuck into town. He stays at a hotel where his wife, his ex-girlfriend or wife, I can't remember. She owns the hotel, and then he stays there. They fall back in love. There's this whole stupid love story. Makes no difference. She has a kid who also finds out about all this stuff because their nanny is actually a
seed person.
A seed perpin. A seed people. They're a seed people. Then, to make things more convoluted, people start dying, and they start blaming this crazy guy who's one of the other people that actually know about it. So there's this crazy guy who's a scientist, and this chick who, the daughter of the girl who owns the hotel, and this Tom guy goes to stay at. Those two know, and then eventually Tom finds out and has to convince the hotel owner, and then he goes and talks to the farmer, who is Bert, played by Sonny Carl Davis, who runs a plant farm, and he sprays herbicide over everything, and then he has these halogen lights, the plant lights, the fucking UV lights.
The UV lights.
Yeah. It is stupid, but part of the reason that he's not getting attacked by these seed people, even though he lives in close proximity of where these seedlings are hatching, is because he has UV lights. And so the crazy guy, the crazy old scientist, and him are the only ones that live. Yeah, the doc.
Right.
So
he feels responsible because he essentially located these whatever, and went by the whole process if it was meteors.
Right. Everybody thought it was meteors because they lived in Comet Valley.
Right, and he fed into it, and then it evolved into these seed people, whatever. But no, I'm gonna revert back to what I was talking about.
Oh, go for it.
As far as my favorite, the stupid fucking farmer or whatever that was like,
Bert,
what in the ding dong heckamadoodle hell?
Yeah.
I lost my fucking shit.
Yeah, he said, we were going into we're jumping into, that's right.
What in the ding dong heckamadoodle hell is this
what
thing?
What in the ding dong heckamadoodle hell is that?
It's so good. Like, that is so, that's just my go-to.
That is one of the better scenes.
Shit ever. That's my favorite scene.
Yeah.
Of that entire film, my favorite scene is, what in the ding dong heckamadoodle hell is that thing? And it was just, oh my God, I can't.
And one of my other favorite scenes, there was a quote that they said, Tom, the main character, and this other lady who owns the hotel, who
breakfast.
Yeah, Heidi. Her name is Heidi, who has a daughter.
Sorry, she's gorgeous.
She was like arguing with him because they have obviously some sexual and past relationship tension, and he's like, well, why didn't you and Brad ever get back together? And she's like, because I'm still waiting for him to get his head out of his ass. And then she walks upstairs. I was like, what?
She's great, dude.
It was like, but still, it was really confusing.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for him to get his head out of his ass, but you're together, so what are you really waiting for?
One of the worst things I thought about is this, okay? So get this, guys. These seed pods, they figure out that these are seed pods that landed on Earth. They had to bust through our atmosphere, which is fire, pretty much. When anything enters the atmosphere at that speed, it's like catches on fire. Mm-hmm. So these seed pods, or comets, they think, would get burned up in the atmosphere if it was that sensitive. When the end of the movie, and spoiler alert, by the way, guys, they try to trap all these seed pods in some of the UV light. And what's really confusing is that at the very end, when the car escapes from the UV light, they try to burn them.
This whole movie is confusing.
So they set the seeds on fire with gasoline, right? And then the car or the truck that's full of these seed pods that they all collected, all these guys, goes off a cliff and blows up. And it's like, wait a second. These seeds came through our atmosphere, through fire, to get here and stayed dormant for a couple hundred years. What the fuck are you doing? That's not how you destroy them. Like, drill a hole through the top or fucking crush them with a mallet or, like, you know, like a hammer or something. I don't know.
This whole movie's fucked up, Alex. Just be honest.
I still like it, though. That's the thing. I don't know what it is about Seedpeople, but I like the creativity in it because I think the creatures are fucking fantastic. I wish that they would have busted open into, like, gory goodness.
The creatures on their own are interesting.
Yeah.
I can't deny that fact. However,
they were different.
It was fun. It was silly. It was campy, but it was cool at the same time. But And
I also thought there was one that, okay, so I was like thinking of the logistics of this creature. And there's this one that swings his bottom of his body underneath his hands. So his arms are as long as like a regular tall person, right? So this person had to tuck their legs up, their knees up against their chest and sit into this little bag, essentially, and then carry themselves to swing their bottom. So it looked like there was no legs. And it was like, how they did it, I was like thinking to myself, like, damn, I thought we were little people at first. But they weren't. I think the one that opens up like a flower was, and then the flying one was all strings and wires and stupid shit like that. But I don't know. I like the creatures. I'm not saying this is like, guys, you got to go see this right now. Yeah, but if you're looking for like 90s movies that you want to go, okay, like that's the kind of movie.
For a really great date night movie where you can just stop in the middle of it and fuck. This movie's great.
It's like a 4 or 5, guys.
It's not bad.
I think it's a 5 because this is my rating system. Anything that's a 5 or above is worth rewatching. Okay? Anything below a 5, not worth rewatching. Maybe every now and then a 4 I might.
Oh.
But below that, no. But I think it's at least a 5. I would give it a 5 if I had to pick.
Alex gives it a 5. I give it a 3.5.
Maybe it's a 4, but I still want to own it. So we're going
to average it out to a 4.
Yeah, about that, huh?
To a 4.
Well, it'd be 3.75 if you were to...
Like I said, if you want to fuck, and you're looking for something besides Netflix and chilling...
Seedpeople, people.
Put on Seedpeople. You're going to get bored and you're going to fuck, so...
But yeah, like there is so many other full moon features, so that's why we did this little full moon roulette. So what we're gonna do right now is pick the next movie.
Can I find?
Oh, Brittany's drunk as shit.
I'm not that drunk. I'm just really excited.
So we got like a list.
To spin it for like an hour. And
so should I put another movie on the list, or are we just gonna pick from these?
What was Seedpeople? What number?
I know what we're gonna put. We're gonna put Dr. Mordred.
Whatever.
That'll be in place of Seedpeople. So if it, yeah.
Whatever,
so
I'm gonna do it.
So what you want to do is you want to spin it first with your finger. No, not that. You want to go spin the dial, like just get it going, and then pull the thing. Yay! 6.
Number 6.
Okay.
It's an ostrich.
So it looks like we're going to be watching Hideous.
The fuck is Hideous?
From 1997.
Oh, no. Okay.
This is like one of the little creatures.
I'm not mad about it.
It's a little puppets, little creatures type thing.
It's not Evil Bong, but I'm not mad about it.
So Hideous it is. We will be watching that next Monday, guys, if you want to check that out in our full moon roulette. So, and then on Monday we'll do another spinning of it and check that out. But yeah, I think that wraps it up for Seedpeople. Have you guys seen this movie? What do you guys think of this movie? Do you like this movie? I got some feedback on the Do You Love Horror Facebook page. So if you're interested, let me know. Let us know in the comments of any of our social media or anything about this.
Let us know.
Kind of interested. Do you like this segment? Because I kind of like mixing it up a little bit for you guys. Because it's like, I don't know what you guys like. It's like, I know some of you like our grave plots. I do like doing that, but that's nerve-wracking. But we like to mix it up for the
nerve-wracking, time-consuming bit. It's fun to do every once in a while, but I feel like every week, not so much.
Yeah, we used to do it every week for like 12 weeks.
Yeah.
So next Monday, we'll watch Hideous 1997. If you guys want to watch that in preparation so you don't spoil anything, please do go ahead. We greatly appreciate that. If you haven't already, you can sign up for Full Moon Direct through Amazon Instant Video. So if you have like an Xbox, PS4, or you want to use Amazon Prime on your PC, you can. So... But we're not supported or anything like that. I think I tried to reach out to Full Moon Features to see if they'd be interested, but
Are they alive?
They didn't even write me back.
They might not be alive.
It's okay. They're busy people. So, but guys, yes, thank you guys so much for stopping by this Monday. We're going to have a brand new episode on Thursday. Any of the information you want to find out or anything that we talked about in this podcast, you can find at longlivethevoid.com under our episode section. If you want to check out our horror shots, you can check it under there. If you want to go to our iTunes and give us a rating or a review and subscribe, I'll suck your dick.
He's not even kidding. He's serious.
Yeah, I am fiending.
Present your dick and he will suck it.
I will, whatever, Grandpa, bring it over here. Slap your noodle on my face.
Slap your noodle all over my nostril.
No, we're not that desperate, but it does really help
Alex
out.
is, I'm not.
No, I'm actually pretty thankful because a lot of you guys, actually really did actually go out there and put up some reviews and ratings, and we went from 3 ratings and reviews to 9. So in just a matter of a couple of days. So thank you guys for that, all of you who did. And if you did, let me know. But yeah, Brittany, do you have any closing words?
I love you guys. Thank you for listening. Thanks for being awesome.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, guys. We'll see you this Thursday for some Rutger Hauer movies. If you want to check that out, it's going to be a fun episode. We're going to be talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Split Second.
Yes, they made a movie about Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes, but check back with us this Thursday. We'll see you then, guys.
Stay weird, monsters.
Listening to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. Tune in this Thursday for part 2 of 90s Rutger Hauer.